What is up, everybody? Today we are going to be hopping into the second part of Hannah's bag, which is going to be the drivers and the fairways. We're going to discuss, like we did in the last video, what she's missing, possibly missing. And then you guys know we have a disc rack here that we're going to grab discs from, like we did in the other video, and hopefully add it to her bag and make it a little bit more complete. So let's jump into that.
Yeah, so you guys are actually going to see the flight chart. We're going to pop it up on the screen when we start messing with the different discs, taking some out, putting some more in. But if you guys have any disc recommendations that that we don't bring up or that we may not have, like, definitely let us know in the comments below, because we can reach out to our sponsor. We can reach out to our sponsor 978 and maybe get some more discs. Get myself ready for this tournament.
Yeah.
So let's jump in. Okay, so my first two fairways I'm going to talk about are my F5 and my F7. I've had some version of an F5 in my bag. I think they've kind of evolved a little bit as I've evolved as a player, but I love the disc. It's super straight. I can, like, hyzer flip it if I need to.
And then in this plastic, it's a little bit more overstable than like a normal F5. This is like their shimmer plastic.
Yeah, that's
which
what
is
I
like
was
perfect.
saying. Like, kind of as I evolved, my arm strength got a little more. I think I needed a different plastic, but I still love the flight of the disc.
And then the F7.
Yeah, someone gave me the F7 a while into playing, but it was like
Hunter Thomas.
Was it?
Look.
Actually, I think Taylor Nichols gave that disc to me.
Really? So he got it from Hunter?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I traded.
When you play on a team, it's very like, oh, you don't use that disc? Like, oh, what if I'll trade you for it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you use this for?
All my discs are like hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
So that one, I needed a disc. Being a lefty, when you're at a course, like, you definitely, I mean, I'm sure righties find this way too, but especially because I don't really have that forehand, I don't really have that shot that I, like, can consistently throw and, like, have it fade easily to the left like a righty shot normally would.
Most courses, like,
will have righty shots.
14 out of 18 holes are going to be a righty shot.
Yeah, so I was, like, finding myself really stuck in a lot of situations, and the F7 I found, like, I was really able to learn that disc and figure out how to, like, hyzer flip it up, and it would, like, really just come over and fade to the left exactly how I wanted it, and it's been in my bag ever since. I've never taken it out.
And rollers. We've been teaching you how to throw rollers.
Yeah, we're still learning that one.
So those are those two Fs.
Yeah,
What's
we'll
next?
definitely keep those in. Next, let's talk about the Volt.
Okay.
I have a Jomez Pro Volt in my bag right now. Love the Volt. You started throwing MVP a while back, and we did, like, a bag swap or something once, and I had this one in, and I really liked it, or I had a different one that I was throwing, and we got one for me. It's straight, it goes a little further, and it has kind of like a harder finish at the end.
Then the what?
Both of those.
Yeah.
It just,
okay.
In general.
just ask.
Just in general, it kind of flies straight, and then it has the harder finish. I really like that one too. It's super comfortable to hold. So I think we'll keep that one in.
Oh, for sure.
So stopping at that right there, there's kind of like this huge gap in between, like, the F5 and the Volt.
Okay.
So maybe we'll go back to that and try and find something that maybe fits in between.
How about I'll try and find something that fits in between. You talk about the rest of your fairways that you have here. Talk about what each of them do, and yeah.
Okay, so the next one is the TDX. This flight chart is saying that it's just as understable as my F7. Definitely
no way.
Not that understable. This one actually flies pretty straight for me. I can hyzer flip it up depending on how much of a noodle arm I have that day. But I've had the TDX in my bag for a while. I used to have a different one. I lost that back in New York. But yeah, this one's definitely straight, and it's a lightweight one, actually. This one is 167. I guess I would put this one maybe a little more, kind of like the same flight as my F5, but it's going to go further. Does that make sense? Okay. I like that one. All right, this next one.
I gotta come back to her chart. I gotta see where this disc will fit. We'll see if I was right.
So the next one is my Freetail. This one is saying that it's kind of similar stability as my F5.
But it'll go a lot farther.
but it's further. Yeah, I just threw this in our last video or second to last video, and I have a lot of control with this disc.
Because that's that disc that you can. It's farther than your F7.
Is this a fairway?
I think it said. Well, a lot of them say control driver, power driver. It actually on here is saying that that's a 10 speed or 10 and a half. So it would be like almost on the cusp, but it's definitely like your F7, but farther, like that.
F7?
Like your flip up, ride, and continue.
So my Predator is the most overstable fairway I have in my bag. I think there's a big gap kind of between the Volt and this one also. Yeah, so this one's definitely overstable. I think I would trust this in a little bit of wind. Definitely not anything like too crazy, but I definitely would trust it in some wind.
I would trust it in more wind than you're saying.
You think so?
I would. It's a reliable, overstable disc, and especially like for someone like yourself.
Because I turn stuff over?
No. I'm saying like you don't have the arm speed of a pro. That might be straight for a pro, but it's not going to be for you.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I got a disc here that lands in between the Freetail and the Volt, faster than the F5, and that's the Insanity. I have plenty of plastics and weights that I can let her try out. But you guys are seeing it now on the screen, where it fits. And it does fit in the middle there. I guess when we go and start like field work, we can see if like this is something that's really needed, or if you could just do your shots with your Freetail, your Volt, and your F5, like those three, because you want to like limit the amount of mold as possible.
I feel like my Freetail, and when I had an Insanity in my bag, I like the Freetail better.
Well, the Freetail is going to do something different than the Insanity.
Well, they look kind of close together on the chart.
Yeah, I know.
So you're saying this is a little more overstable?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, yeah, I think that's going to be something for some field work. Let's move on to...
drivers. These, she has plenty of, the drivers. So we're definitely going to try and work something out of her bag here that she might not need. So
yeah, especially because we just added like 4 discs into my bag.
All right, I'll start with the Longhorn. Well, the Longhorn's new in her bag. It says that it's a 11 speed. She's been liking this. I feel like it's controllable. It's not going to go super far, but it's going to go farther than her fairways. So I would like for this to stay in her bag. I think because she's been confident recently with it, even though it's a newer disc. The Shrike, she has not been throwing a lot, but it would be one of her farther throwing discs and more on the straighter end of the discs that we're going to come up to soon.
I feel like that has a pretty decent like finish though. It doesn't like kind of just fade to the ground. It definitely has a hard finish,
yeah,
but it flies pretty straight.
But you can get more distance out of this than when we get to like your Zeus.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is like I think this should also stay in your bag, and I think that you can utilize this more.
Yeah. Often. Speaking of Zeus, let's just bump to that because I don't really throw it that often. I feel like
this is a new one.
Go to other discs before I go to that.
Yeah. So this is a newer one, not a newer disc, but a newer one in her bag. And I think if anything, if we're gonna get her a Zeus, it'll have to be a little bit lighter weight because this is, what I'm throwing as my driver. This is what Paul's throwing as his driver. Like these are what pros are throwing as their driver, max weight. I just think that max weight isn't what you need because it's going to be too overstable and you have other discs that can do that. Like I think this max weight might go the same distance as, let's say, your Freetail. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Just because it's a little bit overstable. So do you think that you'd want to get rid of this?
Yeah, I don't think I need it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Take one out.
So X3, she's definitely going to be using a lot because of the headwinds here in Texas.
I totally trust that disc. If I have a bad, like any sort of like headwind coming at me, I reach for my X3.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Okay, so next is the Hades. I think this is something that Hannah can throw if there's a tailwind or no headwind. If it's pretty calm. It's light and understable. She can get a hyzer flip flight out of it. And if anything, a longer flight that would finish straighter than any of your other drivers. So I don't want to take this out because this is all the way on the right side. If we take this out, then you're missing like a shot.
Yeah.
A complete shot.
No, I definitely feel like, so that and my Shrike are definitely in right now.
Yeah.
So
And the
Hades
X3,
Strike
and the
and my
Longhorn.
X3 and my Longhorn. That kind of gives like a good variety of stability. What else we got in there?
Your
Oh, my DDX.
Lightweight DDX.
Okay, so this
Even
is...
though it's lightweight, though, it's still a little bit overstable.
Yeah, this is saying that it's basically the same as the X3, which is totally not the case. That is a very lightweight disc. I really can get a hyzer flip and get some
Big
distance on that.
Yeah, because you can get it up to speed a lot faster because it's lighter.
Yeah.
So I think that this should stay in your bag, especially if it's
those
not windy.
far shots, not windy. Yeah.
So do you think that your H3 V2 would be
I like
just as
that
important as
disc.
your Longhorn? Can you get a different shot than that out of your Longhorn with this?
I don't know if I know my Longhorn well enough. Maybe I could choose between the two, but I definitely have to practice that.
Field work. That's what we'll do.
So do you think I need anything more overstable than X3 Longhorn kind of thing?
I mean, if anything, it would have been the Zeus, but you wanted that out. So.
I feel like my X3 is definitely not where it says it is on the chart.
No. I don't know if you would need another driver. I think that would be enough, and I think maybe if you go out and throw, you might find some that you can take out as well. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because we have to do field work. But we did take some discs out. We added a bunch of discs in. So right now...
My chart looks a lot more...
covered. Maybe
yeah,
it looks like you have a
variety.
gap, but based on what we know, I don't think that you have a gap.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a little more spread out than it's showing also.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so too.
This is where we're going to start with my bag.
Yeah, this is where we'll start, and then we'll do mine eventually too, but we're also going to have her throw these, and then we can like analyze if we think that anything can come out or if anything needs to go in.
Yeah.
Right.
This will be fun. This is going to be a cool series to kind of lead up to a tournament.
Yeah, so right out on the screen right now, you'll see the last bit of what we decided for her bag. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like and subscribe. There's still a giveaway going on. We just need to get to 6,000 subscribers.
We're so close, guys. This
It's
giveaway is
hard.
awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
So much stuff.
In
There's
the description, you guys can read.
like $75 worth of gift cards.
Yeah. And discs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Too. So just all you have to do is subscribe to get in. That's it. And all right, we'll see you guys next time.